The only matter I have at this, okay, the first matter I have is matter number 15 on the list.
15?
Yes, 2630 West Girard Avenue.
Okay,
That is HA 2022-002106. That violation has been withdrawn by the department.
okay, thank you. City withdrawn by the city. Thank you.
I have 3 settlements. that I'm
Okay,
reading to the record.
yes,
Okay. Beginning with number 13, that is 824 North 2nd Street, Pelco Builders, Inc., HA 2022-002100.
we'll need you to read into the record the essence of the settlement so that we can vote on it.
I understand. So this settlement was sent to the board, so there is a written copy that is signed by council. But for the record, the violation cited within that violation number 2022-023475, dated March 23rd, 2022, that violation was withdrawn by the city. The remaining violation in that same notice we have agreed, the parties have agreed that that can be affirmed, and that the fine to be imposed by that notice is reduced to $750.
Okay, thank you. This is regarding appeal number HA-2022-002100. Alexander F. Barth is the legal counsel. Is Mr. Barth present?
I do not believe Mr. Barth was going to be present. He did sign the agreement that was sent to the board.
Okay, thank you. We will now hold the vote. The city affirm per the agreement, including a $750 fine.
City affirmed per the agreement, $750 fine.
City
City
affirmed
affirmed per the agreement, $750.
City
Okay,
affirmed per the agreement, $750 fine.
okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much. And the next one?
Number 14 on the list, 533 East Hunting Park Avenue, Gentile Concrete Inc., HA 2022-001778. That was also a copy of the settlement agreement was forwarded to the board. For the record, the terms of that agreement include that the violation number CF 2022-019137, the violation cited within are affirmed, and the fine to be imposed is $1,000.
Okay, thank you. And we will then poll the board regarding HA-2022-001778. That's 533 East Hunting Park Avenue, Gentile Concrete. City affirmed per the agreement, including a $1,000 fine.
City affirmed per the agreement, including the $1,000 fine.
City affirmed per the agreement of $1,000 fine.
City affirmed per agreement with a $1,000 fine.
Thank you.
And just so the record is clear, I do see Mr. Sign, who represented the appellants. He did sign that agreement, but just so the record's clear, he is also present here today.
Okay, Mr. Sign, just want on the record, sir, introduce yourself and just want to affirm the agreement.
No problem. Joseph Sign on behalf of Gentile Concrete, Inc. from the law firm Cohen Seglius, Palace, Greenhall, and Furman. And I did affirm that I signed that settlement agreement and it was forwarded to the panel, and I appreciate your consideration and approval of that agreement.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Okay. What else do we have?
Yep, last settlement is number 16 on the list. That is 824 North 2nd Street. Again, Pelco Builders, Inc., HA 2022-002154. That's right. And that agreement, we are asking if the violation cited within violation notice CF 2022-021466 be affirmed, and that the fine be reduced to $500.
Okay, thank you. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2022-002154, 824 North 2nd Street, Pelco Builders, Inc. City affirmed per the agreement, $500 fine.
City affirmed per the agreement with $500 fine.
City affirmed.
I'm sorry, I think your audio went out, Mr. Tennant. You're
City
now
affirmed.
muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, yes.
City affirmed per the agreement, $500 fine.
Thank you.
City affirmed per the agreement, $500 fine.
Thank you very much. Okay,
I will now pass the list to my colleague, Solicitor McGee, who I believe his request has an update on matter number 11.
okay, thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn. India McGee for the City of Philadelphia. Counsel for Advan 6, Carol McCabe is also here. This is for matter number 11. A joint continuance request for 90 days had been submitted. The city is in support of this request. The violations have been complied and we don't have any concerns about the public health or air pollution at this time.
Okay, all right, we'll note that as continued. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, what number was
Yeah.
that? Number 11?
Number 11.
Thank you.
Okay. By the way, that's continued for 90 days. That's per the agreed upon schedule. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are there any other matters?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
I was just gonna pass it to you, Alex.
Thank you, Caroline. Alexandra Athanasiadis on behalf of the city, Chairman Woodson. I have several matters on the list that I can address.
Yes, please.
Case number 1, property address 2842 North 22nd Street. Appeal number HA 2022-00468. That matter is moot complied.
Move complied. Thank you very much.
4136, I apologize, case number 2, 4136 Ogden Street, HA 2022-004119. That matter is moot complied.
Move complied. Thank you.
Case number 4 on the list, 3442 East Street, HA 2022-004237. That matter is moot complied.
Move complied. Thank you.
Case number 5 on the list, 3504 Shelbourne Street, HA 2022-004136. That matter is moot complied.
Move complied. Thank you.
The city is ready to move forward on case number 3 on the list, and there has been a joint continuance request for case number 6 on the list for 5698 Rising Sun Avenue, HA 2022-002093. Council's also here, Ms. Silva, and that was a joint request for 60-day continuance. And
Okay.
I leave it to the board's discretion, but there is no opposition from the city. It's a joint request.
Okay. Ms. Silva, would you kindly place your name on the record and confirm the request?
Yes, Chairman. I'm Diana Silva from the law firm of Manco Gold, Catcher and Fox for the property owner Crown Bakeries. We submitted a joint request on behalf of ourselves, my client, and the city on January 5th to the board for a 60-day continuance to allow for us to continue discussions with the city on a resolution.
Okay, thank you. So noted, the record, the request for 60-day continuance is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We do have a few other matters that I just want to resolve before we move forward. I've noted that their interpreters should be present for case number 7 and case number 9. I just want to confirm that a Spanish interpreter is present and a Mandarin interpreter is present. Mr. Wade, is that the case?
Mandarin interpreter is present. Spanish, yes, both present.
Okay, thank you. Now, I just want to go back to a couple of matters that we were always concerned about. There at least one matter, number 10, 808 North Broad Street. Siobhan Johnson doing business as J Door Cafe Lounge. Who's representing that for the city?
Good afternoon, Board. Nakia Clark on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clark. Just want to inquire with the appellant regarding their corporate status. Is anyone present representing the appellant?
So an attorney for this case has not reached out to me, and as you may remember, this case was continued at the last listing for the appellant to obtain some sort of legal representation for the LLC.
Okay. And is anyone currently on the screen representing 808 North Broad Street? Okay, well, Ms. Clark, what I'll do, given the individual may arrive at some point before we complete today's business, if you're available just to hang around, you may have other matters before the board, so let's hold that until the end. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade, if there's nothing else preliminary, let's call our first matter.
Case number 3.
Chairman, if I may very quickly, I
Yes.
just want to direct your attention to number 12.
Who's speaking, please?
This is Michael Rulo on behalf of the city of Philadelphia. Sorry about that. My camera was shut off.
Okay.
Number 12 is also a LLC. It's listed as a Devis, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Guji, doing business as A&P Construction LLC. And the violation notices in that case were specifically issued to A&P Construction LLC. I'm
Okay,
not aware of any counsel that has been retained, and there is none listed on the list for this week.
okay, is anyone present representing that company or that appellant? Anyone present? Okay, again, we will add this to the end of the list today, Mr. Rulo, and we will dispose of it at that time.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All righty, let's go back up to number 3.
Case number 3, hearing appeal number HA 2022-004069. Joseph Nicholson, 5649 North 20th Street.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Chairman Woodson, Alexandra Athanasiadis on behalf of the city.
Good afternoon, and the appellant, Joseph Nicholson. Joseph Nicholson. Mr. Wade, do we have anyone? I know everyone's muted now, so I just want to make sure we don't overlook someone who may be present.
We have approximately three phone numbers that have yet to be identified. But I do
Would you-
not see.
Okay, would you kindly unmute those 3 in order, just so that we can just inquire as to their identity? Which one did you do?
Two 267-831-0333, ma'am.
I think she's speaking, but we can't hear her.
She's unmuted.
Okay, maybe if someone can can call her directly while we're working on the other 2.
Neither of the other 2 are responding.
Okay, would you, there's one number that you didn't call out that 3rd number and see if that gets a response.
267-831, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
She has her hand up, but we can't hear her. Is there anything that IT can do to help her sort of communicate with us?
I could bring them into a breakout room and try and work on them while you hear another case, or do you
Okay.
want their identity right now.
If you could do that, that would be helpful, and see if you can get her identity. Thank you. Okay, so 267-897-2655. Does that individual hasn't responded either?
Non-responsive.
Okay. Well, let's move on then. We'll come back to that one as well. I
Case
guess
number
we're down 7. Yeah.
Case number 7, hearing appeal number HA
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, cookie.
Please leave your message for 26.
Can you hear me?
La mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give today be the truth so help you God?
Usted jura y afirma que el testimonio que dé el día de hoy es la verdad jurada ante Dios.
Sí.
Yes.
Place your hand down, please.
Ya puede bajar la mano.
Mr. Peralta, during this hearing, the interpreter will be your voice. He will interpret for you from English to Spanish, and your response will be through him. So whatever you want to say, you can say it in Spanish to him, and he will respond in English to us. And I would ask all of us to be patient for the interpreter, allow him to do his job, so there will be delayed responses. And so that means we should keep our questions as short and direct as we can, and keep our responses as on point and direct as possible.
Así que, señor Peralta, solo para que usted sepa que el intérprete será su voz en esta audiencia y interpretará de inglés a español y español a inglés sus respuestas. Así que le pedimos a todos que sean pacientes y que dejen al intérprete hacer su trabajo e interpretar, y que las preguntas y las contestaciones sean cortas y directas.
Thank you.
Okay.
Who's representing the city in this matter?
¿Quién está representando a la ciudad?
Nikia Clark on behalf of the city of Philadelphia, last name C-L-A-R-K.
Nikia Clark, de parte de la ciudad de Filadelfia. El apellido se le deletrea C-L-A-R-K.
Thank you. Now, before we begin, Ms. Clark, I just need to inquire of the appellant regarding the ownership status of the market. Mr. Peralta.
Así que antes de proceder, necesitamos hablar con el apelante acerca del dueño del mercado.
Mr. Peralta, is the company that operates the store on South 52nd Street owned by you as an individual or a corporation?
Y señor Peralta, la compañía o la tienda y la compañía que usted está hablando acerca del día de hoy en la 52 Sur, ese está de dueño de una compañía o de usted personalmente?
Mía personal.
Mine personally.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Clark?
So this case is in reference to a business that is located at 218 South 52nd Street. The petitioner is requesting a new application for a tobacco retailer permit, and that application has subsequently been denied.
The interpreter requires verification. I'm sorry, an application for what?
Tobacco retailer permit.
Thank you very much. Así que para el negocio que está ubicado en la 218 Sur 52, tienen una petición para una licencia de vender tabaco y esa ha sido negada.
And at this time, the city would like to call its witness, Jody.
Okay. My apologies.
Disculpen.
Miss Clark again, please repeat, Ms. Clark.
The city would like to call its witness, Jody Wilkins.
Y la ciudad quiere llamar al testigo Jody Whitten.
Ms. Wilkins, you muted, so if you can unmute and raise your right hand so you may be sworn. Do you swear affirm the testimony that you give today be the truth so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Bain, please, you need to share that.
Así que ella jura que el testimonio que ella va a dar es la verdad jurada ante Dios.
Please proceed, Ms. Clark.
Good
Por favor,
afternoon, Ms.
proceda.
Wilkins.
Good afternoon.
Can
Y
you please
buenas
state your
tardes.
name? Can you please state your name and occupation for the board?
My name is Jody Wilkins. I'm a sanitarian supervisor with the City of Philadelphia Health Department.
Y ella se llama Joris Wilkin y ella es una supervisora de sanitización para el Departamento de Salud de Filadelfia.
And how long have you been working in that role?
¿Y por cuánto tiempo ha estado trabajando en ese rol?
Over 11 years.
Por más de 11 años.
And what are your primary duties in that role?
¿Y cuáles son sus deberes en ese rol?
Oversee the tobacco permit program with those who have to sell tobacco or e-cigarettes in a product in the City of Philadelphia has to have a permit to do so. So I review applications for that as well as those that don't have.
Ms. Wilkins, we're gonna have to keep it short so the interpreter can keep up.
Yes.
Así que yo estoy encargada de los permisos de tabaco y ese programa y el vender cigarros electrónicos y con esos permisos y yo repaso las solicitudes de aquellos que lo tienen y que no lo tienen.
Please continue if there's more to be shared, please.
Okay, sure. So I also issue violations for those who do not have a permit as well, and those for selling tobacco to minors.
Y también nosotros hacemos violaciones para aquellos que no tienen permiso para vender tabaco o se lo venden a menores.
Are you familiar with the business at 218 South 52nd Street?
Yes, I am.
¿Usted está familiarizado con el negocio que está en la 218 Sur 52?
And how are you familiar with that business?
¿Y usted es familiarizado con ese negocio?
They have applied for the tobacco retailer permit and have been on the waiting list for several years at this time. So they also have violations against the business.
Así que ellos han aplicado para poder vender tabaco en su negocio y han estado en la lista de espera por varios años y tienen violaciones de ese permiso.
Have you had an opportunity to review the paperwork regarding this case?
¿Y usted ha tenido oportunidad para repasar los papeles y los documentos de este caso?
Yes, I have.
Sí.
So with the board's permission, I'm going to share my screen.
Yes,
Y con
please.
el permiso de la Junta voy a compartir mi pantalla.
Si no son lo mismo.
Ms. Clark, if you could amplify, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
One moment.
Un momento.
So at this time, I am referring the board and the petitioner to what has been previously marked as City's Exhibit 5.
Y ahora le voy a enseñar lo que es el exhibito número 5 para la ciudad.
Ms. Wilkins, I'm showing you what has been marked as City's Exhibit 5. Do you recognize it?
Y señora
I do.
Wilkin, le estoy enseñando lo que está marcado como el exhibito número 5 para la ciudad.
Yes, I do.
Y sí, lo puedo ver.
And what are we looking at here?
¿Y qué
This
estamos viendo
is the-
aquí?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a letter for the notice of appeal to the LNI Review Board for the business because they applied for a new application and they're on the waiting list. So this shows them that they can appeal for that decision.
Así que esto enseña una nota de derecho de apelación para el LI, el repaso, y enseña que pues tienen la opción para poder hacer una apelación.
And how are you familiar with this exhibit?
¿Y cómo usted se familiariza con este exhibito?
This is a document that our health department, not myself directly, but another person within the health department generates for those who are requesting to appeal their permit decisions.
Y esto es un documento que el Departamento de Salud, no necesariamente yo directamente, pero lo generan para poder tener permiso para apelaciones.
So it's fair to say that this document is kept in ordinary course of business?
Y es justo decir que este documento se lleva a cabo en negocios regulares.
Yes, it is.
Sí.
So can you just reiterate what the permit status is for this particular business?
¿Y me puede redactar cuál es el estado permanente de este negocio?
It's a waiting list application, so they've been on the list for several years until a spot is available for them to receive a permit.
Así que ellos han estado en una lista de espera por varios años hasta que una posición se haga disponible.
And if you could briefly explain the reason for the permit status being deemed on the waiting list?
Y si me puede dar las razones por la cual que el estado de permiso todavía está en una lista de espera.
The reason it's on the waiting list because it's in a planning district that is over the limit of one tobacco retailer per 1,000 residents. So we weren't allowed to approve this application because there's quite a few retailers already on the list.
Y la razón por la cual todavía está en la lista de espera es porque está en el planeo de distrito se limita a 1 por 1,000 vendedores de tabaco en la residencia y ya hay más de eso y por eso es que están esperando esa aprobación o que se haga un espacio.
So at this time, I am referring the board and the petitioner to what has been previously marked as City's Exhibit 6.
Y ahora vamos a enseñarle a la Junta y a usted el exhibito número 6.
Ms. Wilkins, I'm showing you what has been previously marked as City's Exhibit 6. What is it?
Así que le estoy enseñando lo que ha sido marcado previamente como el exhibito número 6. ¿Y qué es?
This is the document for the regulation of the tobacco retailing that was approved on December 8th of 2016. This is the actual regulation.
Y aquí está el reglamento y el documento de reglamento de tabaco que fue iniciado en diciembre del 8 del 2016.
And just to reiterate, what does this regulation say in section 2 relating to density caps and one's ability to apply and obtain a tobacco retailer permit?
¿Y qué es lo que nos dice en la sección número 2 acerca de las capas y cómo poder aplicar y será aprobado para este tipo de licencia para vender tabaco?
So this basically states that the location in which the tobacco permit is being sought, if it's located in a district which has a number of tobacco retailer permits already, it cannot be less, it has to be less than one tobacco retailer. And the density cap is one tobacco retailer per 1,000 residents.
Así que esto lo que dicta es que en la ubicación que están tratando de adquirir el permiso, tienen un límite de los vendedores de tabaco y el límite sería de 1 entre 1,000 de los residentes de ese lugar, por eso es que no se lo pudieron.
Just a moment, Ms. Clark, in the interest of transparency, was it your intention for her to read the exact language of the code since you're using it as an exhibit so that the petitioner can know exactly what it says?
She can read the exact language, but
Yes,
I was intending her to summarize the regulation.
it would be good for her to read subparagraph A, I believe, so that it's on the screen, so the appellant can know exactly what it says.
Así que le van a leer el párrafo número A que está en la pantalla para que usted pueda saber exactamente lo que dice en el documento.
The location for which the tobacco retailer permit is sought is located in a planning district in which the number of tobacco retailers with active tobacco retailer permits is less than the tobacco retailer density limit.
Así que la ubicación por donde el permiso de vender tabaco se está buscando está ubicado en un distrito de planeo que en ese tienen vendedores de tabaco con permisos de vender tabaco activo que es menos que el límite de densidad de vender tabaco.
No further questions at this time.
Okay.
¿No hay más preguntas?
Mr. Perlotta, as the appellant, you have the right to ask questions of the witness based on her testimony. Do you
Así
have
que,
any questions?
Señor Peralta, como el apelante, usted tiene el derecho de hacer preguntas al testigo acerca de lo que se fue demostrado. ¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta?
Sí, yo quiero saber por qué ya yo estoy como desde 2015 a 16 sin licencia de tabaco, entonces ya lleva bastante. A veces uno quiere venderlo, pero que hay gente que acuden que tabaco.
Permítame. So I wanted to know how come since 2016, I had applied for that license to sell tobacco and I still haven't been granted. There's a lot of people that come asking to be sold tobacco.
Okay. Ms. Wilkins, respond, please.
Señora Wilkins, para que responda.
I'm going to object to that because that's beyond the scope of what I asked in my direct.
Understood. Overruled.
Así que va a objecionar porque está fuera de lo que yo estaba preguntando. Y está sobre qué puede seguir.
So the reason why that he has not been approved is because the number of tobacco retailers that already have permits, there were not enough of them that have dropped out of the list since the time he applied. So therefore, I could not call anyone from the list to ask for them to take the spot. Those who have them are trying to keep them as he would if he'd had his own permit.
Allow me. Así que debido a la razón por la cual no se le ha podido dar el permiso es porque hay demasiado de muchos negocios en la lista que ya tienen ese permiso para la ubicación a donde usted está, y a menos que ellos den su posición o ellos den su posición de poder vender a usted, ellos no le pueden dar otra posición a usted. A menos que uno de ellos se salga, porque hay demasiado en la ubicación donde usted está que venden eso.
And even though there are quite a few people that might be selling around him, that does not mean they were approved by the health department. They may be operating illegally, so that doesn't assume that they were approved by the city of Philadelphia.
Y si hay personas a su alrededor que están, que usted nota un negocio que están vendiendo esos productos, quizás ellos no están aprobados por el Departamento de Salud y están haciendo esos negocios ilegales. Así que no significa que ellos han sido aprobados por nosotros también. Quizás están haciendo esos negocios ilegalmente.
Any further questions, Mr. Peralta?
¿Alguna otra pregunta, señor Peralta?
Entonces no me la pueden obtener porque yo quiero poner mi negocio al día, pero que no sé cómo tratar más. Entonces ya el tabaco el tabaco entonces está eliminado por completo.
So, and there's no other way of obtaining that license because I want to keep my business up to date. So will I not be able to sell the tobacco products?
Otra pregunta.
Let us respond.
Permita que responda.
Ms. Wilkins, I think the response is to repeat the rules in terms of how they're issued.
Así
Okay.
que para que repita la regla y reglamento y cómo están dadas.
based on the question he asked, there is no additional way to get the permit. The waiting list is the option that we have for those who want to sell tobacco in the city of Philadelphia. Until you're called, you're on the list. And therefore, right now, as stated before, there are so many retailers that are already selling tobacco. We have not been able to call anyone at this time. So he has to wait.
Así que basado en las preguntas que usted hizo, no hay ninguna otra manera adicional para adquirir ese permiso. La única opción que usted tiene es continuar esperando en la lista de espera para poder vender el tabaco. Como le había dicho, hay bastantes vendedores de tabaco en su área y a menos que ellos se salgan de la lista, no lo podemos avanzar en la lista y no le podemos dar ese permiso hasta que lo llamemos.
Otra pregunta, entonces, ¿por qué entonces si yo tengo mi negocio al lado ahí y abre un convenience store y de una vez tiene tabaco, puede vender tabaco? Entonces, si yo vendo tabaco, tengo problemas, me dan el ticket, pero a los convenience store que tengo en el lado venden tabaco. Entonces, yo me explico, ven acá, ¿por qué yo vendo, pago mi impuesto y ellos llegaron ahora, son nuevos y venden tabaco? Entonces,
Permítame. So then my question is, how come then the new convenience stores that are opening around me, they initially start selling tobacco without any sort of problem, and either have been there for a longer period of time, and I've still yet to obtain that license to be able to sell that tobacco?
Okay. Before we respond to that specific question, Ms. Clark, if you could unmute yourself. Given the nature of this case, Mr. Peralta's presentation would be essentially asking questions as opposed to presenting an affirmative defense. So I guess the issue here, how do we best respond in order to resolve this matter? Let the interpreter.
Así que antes de proceder a responder a su pregunta, específicamente, señora Clark, debido a la naturaleza de este caso, y que el señor Peralta lo único que puede hacer es presentar sus preguntas, ¿cómo es la mejor manera que nosotros podemos proceder con el defensor para responder a este caso?
So Mr. Peralta's questions are beyond the scope. He's asking about other businesses in the area, and his petition was related to his business being placed on the wait list tobacco retailer permit.
Así que las preguntas del señor Peralta están fuera de la razón en el hecho que el pedido que él está aquí el día de hoy es por su negocio y no acerca de los negocios que están a su alrededor.
Okay. Let me say this may be helpful. Mr. Peralta, the individual businesses operate and they have to apply just as you did. Some of them may have already had the license. They may have bought the business from someone else and the license was grandfathered. So each one is unique. Now, if someone's selling illegally, believe me, eventually they will be caught and will be stopped.
Así que, señor Peralta, quizá esto conteste su pregunta. Individualmente, las compañías necesitan adquirir un permiso. Quizá hay un negocio que adquirió la licencia porque al comprar el negocio de otra persona que ya tenía la licencia, ellos ahora tienen el permiso que ellos tenían antes. Pero si hay algún negocio que está a su alrededor que está vendiendo el tabaco ilegalmente, a agarrar.
Porque eso es tengo mi negocio hoy día, entonces nada más me falta esa sola licencia. Entonces, lo que llega nuevo ahí hoy o mañana, en un mes, una vez venden tabaco. Entonces, porque yo ya tengo X tiempo ahí y no me pueden dar la licencia. Ok, que yo he cometido mi ok, soy culpable, pero los que llegan hoy nuevo lo venden el tabaco sin problema. Entonces, no sé cómo es.
Permítame. So yeah, I'm trying to understand how come the new businesses there that arrive are now being able to sell the tobacco products and either have been there a long time. I've been waiting for the license. That's the only thing that I need to keep it up to date. And I just feel that I have had my violations and I am guilty of those violations, but I still have been waiting for that request for a while.
Let's do this before we respond directly to what he's asked. I want to give Ms. Clark, who's representing the city, a chance to conclude her case before we get into his details. We can get that in a moment.
Así que antes de poder responder a su pregunta, vamos a dárselo a la señora Clark para que ella pueda concluir el caso antes de poder contestar en detalle su pregunta.
Ms. Clark, do you have any additional witnesses?
I do not have any additional witnesses.
Y la
Okay.
señora Clark no tiene ningún testigo adicional.
Okay. Now, Mr. Peralta, this is your opportunity now to state your case. I think you've done that, but I want to hear as you put on the record your case for today.
Así que ahora, señor Peralta, usted tiene su oportunidad de dictar su caso. Ya yo creo que usted lo ha mencionado, pero para el registro, dicte el caso de usted.
Bueno, ya cuando no se puede, ya voy a esperar entonces el tiempo que me toca esperar. Entonces, ¿como qué tiempo todavía me tocaría esperar más?
So if it can't be done, it can't be done. I'll just have to wait. Around how much longer do you think it will take for me to get the permit?
I will ask, is there Ms. Clark? I believe Ms. Wilkins probably is the best qualified to respond to that. Ms. Wilkins?
Así que yo creo que, señora Clark, que la señora Wilkins es la mejor que puede responder esa pregunta. Señora Wilkins.
I cannot say what the amount of time it will be because there's quite a few retailers that have the permit that has not allowed us to drop a number significant under one tobacco retailer because his area is very concentrated. It's been several years now. And so the only way that it's predicted is when those who have the permit drop out. And of course, most of them are trying to keep it. So I cannot answer that completely.
Así que no sé si le pueda responder esa pregunta porque nosotros tenemos que esperar que aquellos negocios que ya tienen ese permiso, que ellos lo dejen y tiene que caer bajo la categoría de -1. Ya tan cuando como esa área es muy concentrada y eso ha tomado bastante años, así que no podemos predecir cuándo ellos se van o van a dejar ese permiso, porque muchos de ellos están tratando de quedarse con él.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any final argument, Ms. Clark, before we vote on this matter?
¿Y hay algún argumento final antes de poder votar en este hecho?
No, está bien.
Mr. Brown, just a moment, sir. I need to have Ms. Clark respond to me.
Así que, señor Peralta, un momento en lo que la señora Clark responde.
So briefly, the tobacco regulation in section 2 states in sum and substance that the city has provided density cap limits to prevent the amount of tobacco retailers within a certain area. And we have already stated on the record, Jody Wilkins has informed the petitioner that he is currently placed on the wait list, and once a spot is available, then his application may proceed. So at this time.
Ms. Clark, just a moment, let the interpreter catch up with you.
Así que bajo los reglamentos de tabaco, sección número 2, la ciudad ha proveído que hay un límite de capa de densidad para prevenir vendedores de tabaco en una cierta ubicación. Y ya nosotros hemos tenido a Jody Wilkins, que ha aprobado como testigo, que ha aprobado la información que usted ha estado puesto en un estado de lista de espera hasta que una posición se haga disponible.
So for these reasons, the city would respectfully request a city affirm for this case.
Y para esta razón, la ciudad pide esta afirmación de la ciudad para este caso.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Peralta, do you have any final comments before we call the vote?
Y señor Peralta, ¿usted tiene algún otro comentario antes que hagamos el voto?
No, está bien, eso es lo que yo quería. Yo quería obtener mi licencia ya para tenerla, pero tratado y no ha podido.
So no, that's it. I've been waiting a long time to get my license, and I tried, but I guess that's the case.
Okay, thank you. We will now poll the board.
Así que ahora para la junta el voto.
regarding 218 South 52nd Street. Kevin Perlotta doing business as Premala Food Market.
Y es para el caso que está ubicado en el 218 Sur 52 calle para el Kevin Peralta que está tiene su mercado perfume ahí.
HA-2021-003380.
Y es para el caso HA 2021-003380.
City affirmed.
Ciudad afirma.
City affirmed.
Ciudad
City
afirma.
affirmed.
Ciudad afirma.
City affirm.
Ciudad afirma.
City affirm.
Ciudad afirma.
Mr. Perlotta, the vote is unanimous. City affirmed, which means that you've lost your appeal. You may appeal the decision of the board, and you can call the office and they will give you information as to how to appeal this decision.
Así que, señor Peralta, usted ha perdido la decisión, ya la ciudad ha firmado para esta apelación. Si usted quiere hacer otra apelación, usted puede llamar a la oficina de la Junta y le van a dar los detalles de cómo poder apelar de nuevo.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Así que gracias, que tengan buenas tardes.
Okay.
And this is the interpreter speaking. Do you require further interpretation with another case?
Let me check with the administrator. Do we have any additional cases?
No, not for Spanish.
Okay. Are you also providing other languages, sir? Or just Spanish?
Just Spanish.
Okay, thank you. So I think that'll be it for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Okay.
for using our service. Interpreter
You're welcome.
disconnected.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next matter.
This is case number 8, hearing appeal. Hearing appeal number HA 2022-002-343. Jingesh Patel, 4th and Market Street.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Nakia Clark on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. Mr. Patel, is anyone representing Mr. Patel? Or that location? Ms. Clark, have you had any opportunity to speak with the appellant?
So I'm covering this case for a colleague, but I believe that she has not heard from the appellant.
Okay.
This case was last continued from December 8th, was continued for counsel or for Mr. Patel to obtain counsel. Service was made. There's no one on the call. Everyone has been identified. No one, I'll just do a double look, but no one appears to be under the same name.
Okay. And what was that last hearing date?
December 8th,
Of which year?
2022.
Okay, December 8th, 2022 for legal counsel?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Clark, what is your pleasure?
The city will request a city affirm for lack of appearance.
Okay. And Mr. Pincus, what time do we have?
2:24 PM.
2:24 PM. Okay, we will now poll the board regarding HJ-2022-002-343 4th and Market Street, Southwest Corner, Janish Patel, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirm
non-appearance.
non-appearance. I'm sorry.
City
Okay,
affirm non-appearance.
City
Washington?
affirm non-appearance.
all right, thank you. All right, that concludes that matter. Thank you. Let's move on to
Case
the next
number
matter.
9. Case number 9, hearing appeal number HA 2021-003-384. XIU Yu Zhang doing business as Michael Grocery Store, 1138 Porter Street. There is a
Okay.
manager interpreter on the line.
Okay, would the interpreter please identify yourself?
This is Mike, Mandarin interpreter. Are you, sir?
Okay. Mike, would you give us your full name, spell your last name, please?
Official name spelling as M as in Mary, E-I hyphen H as in Henry, U-I, last name Wang, W-A-N-G.
May Yun Wayne?
Yes.
Okay. I'll need you to raise your right hand so you can be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God? And that you will faithfully translate from English to Mandarin and from Mandarin to English the proceedings in this manner?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you very much. As I've stated previously with the Spanish interpreter, I'll need you to interpret in real time. And so you will be the mouthpiece and spokesperson for the appellant. Everything that's said in English, you will translate to that individual in Mandarin and in fact, give their response. So again, I ask everyone to be short, concise, and as clear as you can be in your questions and in your responses. Thank you. And to be patient to allow the Mandarin interpreter to speak. Thank you. So let's call the individual. Mr. Wang, would you call Mr. Zheng?
This interpreter just want to confirm the last name spelled as Z-H-A-N-G?
The last name is Z-H-E-N-G.
Z-H-E-N-G. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. 郑女士，请问您在吗？郑女士。This interpreter, I didn't hear any response.
Okay, would you read? The address is the 8th Street Market, I think it's called. No, I'm sorry. It's doing business as Michael Grocery Store at 1138 Porter Street. Would you repeat that, please?
West Porter Street.
West Porter Street.
好，请问这个地址1138号 West Porter Street Michael Grocery Store 郑女士在会议上吗？
Okay, no response.
Service was made.
Service was made. Ms. Clark, what is your, I'm sorry, Ms. Curley, what is your preference?
Yes, Carolyn Curley for the city. We would ask for a city affirm based on lack of appearance.
Okay. What time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
2:28 p.m.
2:28 p.m. Thank you. Actually, Mr.
You can call me Mike.
Mike, my apologies. I'd like you to interpret everything we said, even though we haven't seen or heard from him, just in case.
Sure. Okay. Sure.
So we will call the vote on HA-2021-003384.
好，现在我们要针对这个上述案件 H82021003384来进行投票表决。
1138 Porter Street, Philadelphia.
地址1138 Porter Street 在费城。
Michael Grocery Store.
店名是 Michael Grocery Store.
City affirmed non-appearance.
要这个维持原判，因为对方不在现场。
Mr. Chairman, just to point out, the hearing list says 1138 Porter Street, but in the letter that's attached in the appellant's package, it's addressed to 1138 West Porter Street. Either way, there's no one here. I just wanted to clarify the address. My vote is city affirmed non-appearance.
就是确认一下，这个案件上的地址有2个，因为寄去的邮寄地址是1138West Porter Street 啊，不管这个上面有什么不一致，不过我的投票也是赞成市政府维持原判。
Before we continue, Mr. Wade, is there any issue in terms of return mail or anything? And did we provide service in any other way?
No return mail. Service was provided on a West Porter Street, which matches his appeal. Service was also made through email as well as postal mail.
Thank you. Mike, please.
会不会我们因为地址不一致，会不会因为邮件没送达有问题？邮件有没有退回来过？回答是邮件没有退回来过，我们而且收到申请上述的地址是跟邮寄的地址是一致的，是1138 West Porter Street。
Mr. Tennant, your vote, please.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City
市政府
affirmed
维持原判
non-appearance.，哦，
市政府维持原判，因为上诉人没有出席。
City affirmed non-appearance.
市政府维持原判，因为上诉人没有出席会议。
City affirmed non-appearance.
市政府维持原判，因为上诉人没有出席。
Thank you very much. I think that concludes our that particular matter. Interpreter, we thank you for your service.
Thank you. This
Okay,
is
have a good
interpreted.
afternoon.
I'm not sure if there's more case need Mandarin interpreter.
Let me check with Mr. Wade, the
No,
administrator.
No, not at this time.
No. All right. So interpreter will disconnect from this meeting. Thank you for using our service. You all have a wonderful day.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you very much. Have a good day.
No problem. Bye bye.
Chairman, at the request of Mrs. Anathiadis, if we could revisit case number 3, now that
Number three?
everyone's identified.
Okay, let's do that. Read that one in, please.
Case number 3, hearing appeal number HA 2022-004069. Joseph Nicholson, 5649 North 20th Street. Notice was sent.
Okay, Miss the City of Philadelphia, please, represented by.
Yes, good afternoon again, Chairman Woodson. Thank you, Mr. Wade. Alex Athanasiadis on behalf of the city. The city is prepared to move forward and the city has a witness waiting, Mr. Jason Locke, to testify on the
Okay.
matter.
Thank you. Mr. Nicholson, or anyone representing Mr. Nicholson? Mr. Nicholson, 5649 North 20th Street. Anyone representing that address? No response. Ms. Athanasiadis, what is your preference?
Chairman Woodson, the city would be requesting a city affirmed based on lack of appearance.
Okay, the time, Mr. Pincus?
2:32 PM.
2:32 PM. Thank you very much. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2022-004069, 5649 North 20th Street, Joseph Nicholson. City affirmed non-appearance.
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 Thank you very much. That concludes that matter.
Thank you,
Okay.
Chairman Woodson. May I excuse my witness and be
Yes.
excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, you also.
Okay, what do we have next?
Case number 10, hearing appeal number HA 2021-004281. Siobhan Johnson doing business as Jador Cafe Lounge, 808 North Broad Street.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Nakia Clark on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clark. As anyone who's representing Siobhan Johnson doing business as Jador Cafe Lounge?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just for the record, as I look at my screen, it would appear, though we can call all the cases, that the only names I see on the screen are all, except for, I guess, there's one item, Melissa Damst. Everyone's a city employee.
Okay, just need to confirm that. Ms. Clark, what is your preference?
The city will be
Sir?
requesting a city affirm for lack of appearance.
Service
Okay.
is paid.
Service is made. Thank you. Alrighty. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2021-004281, 808 North Broad Street. Siobhan Johnson doing business as Jador Cafe Lounge, city affirmed non-appearance.
Excuse me,
City
Mr. Chair,
affirmed.
what time is it?
2:35 PM.
2:35, my apologies, I missed that.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Wade,
If I may, at this time, can I dismiss our two witnesses, Melissa Damas from the Health Department and Nakisha Johnson, if you don't have any additional cases?
yes, you may dismiss the witnesses as well. Is that conclude your business with us today, Ms. Clark?
That also concludes my business as well.
Okay, have a good day.
You too.
This is our last case, case 12, hearing appeal number HA 2022-001-946. Dennis Gaduzzi, doing business as A&P Construction LLC. This is an audits and investigations appeal.
Okay, I think that's Devis, D-E-V-I-S.
Davis.
Yes, okay. Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon again, board members. This is Michael Rouleau on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Okay. Who's present representing the appellant, A&P Construction LLC? Okay, all righty. Mr. Wade, I believe I heard you say that service was made.
Yes.
Okay, all righty. Mr. Rouleau, what is your preference?
First off, just for the purposes of the record, I would like to note that when the city submitted its exhibits for this matter, I did CC the appellant on that email. He did respond and he was informed that the hearing was in fact today. Just wanted to note that for the
Thank you.
record.
Thank you very much.
The city would request a city affirm for lack of appearance.
Thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
I have 2:37 PM.
2:37 PM. Thank you. We will now call the vote on HA 2022-001-946. A&P Construction LLC. City affirm lack of appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. I think that concludes today's list. Thank you all. We will just have a short executive session. If we could all go to the breakout session.
I have a
For
quick
those on the
question, Mr.
board.
Chair.
Yes, sir.
I didn't record the time for number 7. With the
Number
Spanish
7.
interpreter.
Oh, that was the Spanish interpreter. There was no time
Yes.
for the Spanish. There was
I'm
no, we
sorry.
heard, that was a hearing. We heard that one.
I'm sorry. Number 4, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not even 4, number 8.
That was at
14 Barton
2:28
Square.
PM.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
224.